was going to reach out to Welcome to Storytime with Stephanie, a platform for independent authors to share their stories of transformation, self-help, education, and sometimes pure entertainment. Want to grow with us on this journey and support these up and coming authors? Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode. I'm your host, Stephanie Outen, the literary doula. Are you ready for the show? Let's do this. Hello. Greetings and welcome to Storytime with Stephanie. I am your host, Stephanie Outen, and I am delighted to be back with you all for another amazing episode of Storytime with Stephanie. So we have a phenomenal guest with us tonight. I'm just going to go ahead and read the synopsis of the book first, and then I'm going to give you her bio. Pressure has the unique ability to reveal what is truly in our hearts and to develop qualities that comfort cannot produce. Life has a way of presenting us with moments that test our resolve, challenge our faith, and push us beyond what we can handle. This book is for every dreamer who faces opposition, every believer who walks through seasons of barrenness, and every person who dares to believe that God has more in store for their life than what they're currently experiencing. This book, You Are Made for More, emerges from a profound truth that you were not created for mediocrity, defeat, or a life of settling for less than God's best. You were made for more. The pages of this book will take you on a journey through biblical narratives that illuminate timeless principles about purpose, perseverance, and the transformative power of faith. Through the life of biblical characters, you will discover that your greatest challenges often become the pathway to our greatest victories. This book will encourage you to keep dreaming, keep believing, and keep moving toward the fullness of God's calling on your life. And this amazing book was written by Reverend Dr. Patricia Hauser. Dr. Hauser accepted her call in 1995 and on September 11, 2001, became the senior pastor for God's ministry formed under the entity of Potter's House Deliverance Tabernacle. Following the guidance of the Holy Spirit, God gave a vision to Pastor Hauser to renew and redirect Potter's House Deliverance Tabernacle. On August the 1st of 2021, Potter's House Deliverance Tabernacle was rebranded as a hybrid ministry that's both a physical and e-church entity as to a new direction ministry. Dr. Hauser is committed, dedicated, and faithful to the ministry in which God has called, anointed, and appointed her, and has since been leading God's people through sound biblical teaching with the aid of the Holy Spirit. Through her strong desire to serve God no matter what, lives have been changed. People have been and still are being impacted in effective ways that benefit the kingdom. She is the author of You Are Made for More, a book that grew out of her increasing desire to help individuals realize there's more to life because God has so much more for them. Dr. Hauser is an educator, mentor, counselor, conference and workshop facilitator, and one of Tampa's best gospel radio personnel. During her tenure in leadership, she has participated on ministerial staff, been the director of women's ministries and worship leader. And as impressive as Dr. Hauser's bio may be, if she were to introduce herself, she would simply reply, "If anybody asks you who I am, tell them that I am a child of the King." Everyone, welcome Reverend Dr. Patricia Hauser. Hello.
Hello.
Greetings and
I'm
welcome.
Wonderful.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure, but I want to say thank you for the privilege of being here.
Oh, let me tell y'all. So just so you know, I actually was a member of Potter's House Deliverance Tabernacle here in Tampa, Florida. So she's not just Dr. Hauser to me. She is Pastor Hauser because she was my pastor for a number of years before I ended up relocating out of Tampa. And I just love her, adore her. I'm so grateful for her. And she has still been in my life after all these years. I've moved away, I've been in a ton of different states, and yet she still always has kept in touch with me. She's always been here. And I'm so grateful that, everything has come full circle. And now we could
Yes,
be here and talk about her book.
yes. So proud of you too for your work and that you've done.
Thank
Yes.
you. I
Hmm.
appreciate it. I
Yes.
appreciate it. So let's talk about this book. And I know we have a copy of the cover. You are made for more. So look at that. Look at you, Pastor. Look at Pastor in her bright pink. Okay, you are made for more. I love it. I love it. I love it. So let's talk a little bit about this book. And thank you to everyone who is joining us live and everyone who will watch on the replay. We appreciate you being here, and feel free to ask questions because that's what this is all about. We want to make sure that you have an opportunity to ask any questions that you might have as well. So let's get started. All right. So you open with the idea that pressure reveals what's truly in our hearts. So can you share a personal season where pressure exposed something in you that comfort never would have?
Wow. I can think of several things, but one that come to mind is when my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and went through chemo. She didn't have to have radiation, but during that season, during that time, what we discovered is my mom never had a mammogram.
mm,
And she had been going to the doctor every year for an annual physical. So we all know as women, when you go in for your annual physical, there's an exam of the breast. He
yeah.
never examined a breast. And then there's a prescription that's written for a mammography.
Mm-hmm.
She never got a prescription to go and have a mammography.
Wow.
And so once she discovered that she had breast cancer, it was already stage 4. So during that time of her getting her treatment, I was the caretaker, going back and forth, spending hospital nights, driving back to Tampa because she lived in Sarasota, so that's about an
Mm-hmm.
hour away,
Yeah.
spending all night making sure that, her care was being given,
Mm,
because you do have to have someone there,
yeah.
and especially now during these trying times.
Yes.
But even after she finished her treatments and we felt she was doing well, she was on the way to recovery, she ended up having a spot that was in her bones. So it had spread. And she
Mm,
was right at that point of the 5th year, because 5-year survival rate is,
yeah.
key. And she did not want to take the chemo after trying again. It was
Mm,
just too much. And she made a decision that she just could not do it.
wow.
So I then became her total whole caretaker.
Yeah.
And not knowing how I did it, I was teaching, I was preaching, I was in the church, I was traveling, but always back in time to take care of her until her final days.
Mm,
And I walked through that period asking myself, how in the world
mm,
did I do everything
yeah.
that I did,
Yeah.
including taking care of her and all of my responsibilities that I had? She actually transitioned the Wednesday before Mother's Day.
Mm,
God works in mysterious ways. We say that, but I was praying because I felt it. I knew it. Um, I sensed it.
yeah.
That's time I was sleeping right in the bed with her. And so that early morning, that early Wednesday morning, the bed shook like an earthquake, woke me up. I turned the light on and I could see her
Mm,
very glazed and dazed, and her breathing was so it was just so faint.
mhm.
And so I began to pray and began to talk to her. And at that time, I could actually see her spirit leave.
Ooh.
I was there alone with her. And it took me a moment. And then I began to make phone calls. But even through that, I was able to do everything that was needed to make sure her final resting place was taken care of and secured. So I
Yeah.
go back to that point. That's just one. I go back to that point in time. There was nothing comfortable about that.
Yeah.
But now, if you look at my Facebook page, I have for over 20 something years now, I have a pink ribbon there.
Hmm.
And then I try to encourage health for women, girls, to take care of themselves, to make sure they become even dogmatic if they have to about their
Yes.
health care, you know.
Mhm.
So that is a point where I know pressure was all around me. And I look back, I don't know how I did it, but it
Look,
wasn't
uh, so we share a very similar story, and of course, I trying not to cry. But yeah, so I spent the last 7 years of my life being my mom's caregiver, and she recently passed in October, and so I recognize the same thing, like that pressure. It was not easy. It was not comfortable. It was very difficult to still, run. I have two businesses, and to be able to take care of her, do two businesses, teach all these different things. And it's like, God, how in the world, and nothing but the grace of God, truly
yes,
nothing but the grace of God. But I learned so much through those 7 years, and just I learned humility and care and love like I could never have imagined. And so,
yes,
I think that's truly the premise of being made for more, that we are made
yes,
for more than,
yes.
we could ever have imagined. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
So
and just one other thing, I'll say this. That was Wednesday. That Saturday, I had a workshop. People
mm,
had heard about her transition. They did not think I was coming.
woo,
I showed up, I did my workshop. On that Sunday, which was Mother's Day, I had a preaching engagement.
oh my God.
So when there's nothing comfortable about losing someone, and then when we did her homegoing, I did a part of the eulogy for
Yeah.
her. So
Ooh,
yeah,
okay.
yes.
Oh my God. So, what are some of the things that you think you learned about yourself in that process? What did God show you about yourself?
I was more resilient than I ever thought,
Hmm.
I could possibly be.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, my mom was really someone who I talked to every day. You understand that.
Yeah.
If it wasn't once, twice a day, we talked.
Yeah.
And we would spend time together. We always celebrated like Thanksgiving, not on Thanksgiving because she was a nurse's aide and worked in the hospital. I'm a nurse, so you don't get those holidays off.
Right.
And so we found the time to come together and celebrate it like after Thanksgiving. So it's
Yeah.
just things like that that I learned that you can move on in life
Mm.
and you can pursue your dreams no matter how difficult it is. Because I never honestly thought that well, I knew I was called, let me say
Mhm.
that, but fear kind of
Mm.
took over.
Yeah.
And so I I would do it, what would you say? I would go out and speak and then come back in like it's nothing.
Yeah.
But all along, God was just like, okay, okay, you're gonna do this. And I'm like, I'll do it, but I can't tell anybody, you
Mm.
know, workshops, all that.
Oh,
So through all of that, I think one of the most significant things that I have learned is that I tell people you can make it through anything.
yeah.
Faith in God,
Yeah.
not in yourself.
Mm.
Trust in his word, because even though the promise of me saying, God, I would like for you to heal my mother, she
Yeah.
is healed. She's healed,
Y-
you know. So I had to get to that place to understand that it wasn't on this side, but definitely on the other side. And
Amen.
not to be selfish, to still want her here and to see her suffer. That's
Yes.
selfish.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ooh. So you say you were not created for mediocrity. So why do you think so many believers settle for less than God's best, even when they know that they are called for more?
Wow. I think it's more than a mindset, but it is a mindset. I think when you've heard no so many times,
Mm.
when you've heard people talk, in a negative way to you so many times, it becomes a part of who you are.
Yeah.
You dress in it, your shoes are made of it. I'm trying to just give some symbolics or illustrations of what people do.
Hmm.
They drink it, they even begin to talk it. And
Yes.
I'm really big on your words are powerful. I'm
Yeah.
really big on that because
Mhm.
the Bible tells us that life and death
Yes.
is in the power
Oh.
of your tongue. So I think people have settled in their own minds to
Mm.
say, I can't, I don't know how, or refuse to get up and just try.
Yeah.
I had Dr. Linda Willis, tell me something one day.
Mhm.
I know you remember her. She did
Love
some
her.
amazing women's conferences.
Yes.
And during this period of time, I owned a business.
Mhm.
I'm not ashamed of myself or what happened, but what happened was not my fault. But because I owned the business, I had to own everything that
Yes.
come with it. And it destroyed a very prominent
Mm.
multi-million dollar business that
Mhm.
I had built from the ground up,
Yeah.
which also um, kind of tagged into where I was with my mom when I would have to go and pick up medication,
Mhm.
strong pain pills late at night at the hospital,
Yeah.
and then leave her there. But when I get there, I go through all of this rigmarole, all this paperwork, people looking at me like she's in here at midnight trying to get drugs, you
Yeah.
know? And so the concept of building a business that delivered to people who were critically ill, didn't have transportation. I was the first business, pharmaceutical closed pharmacy that did that in
Mhm.
the Tampa Bay area.
Yeah.
And that drew a
Oh.
lot of opposition
Oh,
from
yeah.
big pharma and big um, Walgreens and those
Yeah.
just well anyway. Um, so my business was finally shut down,
Mm.
and I had to fight through Medicaid and all this different other things. So I say all that to say the resilience, the keep walking, and what Dr. Willis said to me was, if you just keep walking,
Mm.
you will walk your way out of this.
Yeah.
That has lived with me and for me for so many years. So
Mm.
when people say they can't do something,
Ooh.
I say, if you just keep walking.
Yes. You
It's like
walk your way right
Abraham.
on through it.
Yes,
Ooh.
God told Abraham to just go. He didn't say where, just go. And he
Mm.
had to walk by faith. And so it took me walking by faith to get where I am, you
Yeah.
know. Mhm.
Ooh.
I
I
hope
know
that
that.
it answers the
Oh, it's
question.
absolutely, and that's a testimony that so many people can share. I mean, you face so much opposition, you go through so many things, and while you definitely wanna give up, if you just keep walking, you'll walk your way right through it, and it's so true, and yeah, Reverend Linda Willis, Dr. Linda Willis is phenomenal. I will never forget a women's conference that she held, where she was the, guest speaker at Potter's house, and she spoke
Yes.
prophetically into my life as well. And even now, all these years later, I still see those words coming to pass. And so, um, what she shared with you is something that everyone should latch on to, that you just have to keep going forward, right? The
Yes.
opposition is meant to keep you bound. It's meant to keep you trapped. It's meant to keep you in a state of not moving. But every time we put one foot in front of the other and we just keep walking, we will walk our way right through it. So thank you for that reminder, that everyone can latch on to when they're facing opposition. And so thinking about that, this book speaks directly to dreamers who are facing opposition. So, how do you discern the difference between a closed door from God and resistance that's meant to refine you rather than stop you?
Oh, wow.
I'm coming out
I
heavy
think,
hitting.
yes, you are. Well, a closed door from God. I think you get to a point to know, if you know his voice, let me say
Yes.
that. If you have a relationship with him, there's something about not having peace about something that you're pursuing that
Yeah.
he has already closed that door to.
Mm.
And sometimes what we don't know is that when God closes a door, it is to prevent us from prematurely having a misstep, a boo boo, a blow up, and here we are fighting and crying. I wanted to go to medical school, and I did everything right,
Mm.
grades right. I took the MCATs, that right. I
Mm.
interviewed at different medical schools,
Mm.
and I always would get to second or first alternate,
Mm.
meaning, okay, I didn't get in number
Wow.
one, but I would be the second alternate up or the first alternate that they would then choose.
Wow.
Well, I didn't know if you just showed up to the school, like, a Harry or if this, just go and be there. So when the person that have already tried to apply to other medical schools didn't show up there, and
Mhm.
you're the alternate, you would get in. I found out that
Oh,
found
wow.
out years later, but I understood the door that God answered my prayer,
Mm.
that I was accepted but not accepted into medical
Mm.
school,
Mm.
because his alternative for me was to pastor.
Wow.
And I know, had I got into medical school, I would not be in Tampa.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So a closed door from God, versus you keep going. I didn't give up. I
Yeah.
kept going,
Mm.
So I went back to school. I won't even say what I went back to school for. Went back to school.
You have a lot of degrees, though.
I, I know. I know. I set the temperature. I don't let the temperature set
That's
me.
right. Look, Pastor Hauser has a lot of degrees in a lot of things.
Yeah.
So she is very well versed in a lot of different areas, which two of your degrees I didn't even know. I was like, really? I didn't know she.
Yeah.
But it's a blessing to be that well versed in a variety of topics because I think even as a pastor, right, you touch so many things, so many different areas of people's lives. And so
Yes.
to be able to be well versed in a lot of different areas, it serves you well, in your role as a pastor. And so all those different degrees and all those, all those years of schooling were for a purpose, maybe not the purpose that you thought, but the
Right.
purpose that God had for you.
Yeah. And so I'm
So,
okay with it. I'm
yeah.
okay with it. I accept it. I understand it, that the door was just cracked. It wasn't open.
Ooh.
So it was a closed door. But
Yeah.
yet on the other side, of going to the next door, it was open. And even in ministry as a woman, that brought, and I'll get back to dreamers, that brought opposition in a different way because women were not highly accepted.
Mhm.
And that is still a difficult situation even today in
Yes.
the arena of, women preaching.
Yes.
But dreamers have to keep dreaming. You can't stop dreaming. I wanted to be a doctor, so I am a doctor.
That's
It
right.
just wasn't a doctor that
Not
I
a
thought
medical
it would
doctor,
be.
but
Yeah, yes. So you don't stop dreaming. And when God gives you a dream,
mm,
know that opposition is coming.
yes, it is.
Know that the fire is coming. Know that the problems, trouble, traps, trials, they're
Mm,
coming.
yeah.
And when you're anointed, it's like you have to pay a cost for that.
Yes. Oh God, yes.
Yes. You have to pay a cost for that.
Ooh. That's why you always got to have on the full armor of God because you're gonna be
Absolutely.
fighting. I like I walk
Yes.
around like this all day.
You have to be
Like,
able to stand.
yes.
When you've done everything you can, you got to be able to stand.
Amen. Amen. Now
Mhm.
I see some comments coming up, and
Oh,
feel
okay.
free, if you have questions, you are welcome to share your questions. We'll put them up on the screen. Again, I just want to thank everyone that's been joining us with the Reverend Dr. Patricia Hauser. We're talking about her book, You Are Made for More. And I thank you all for showing up to support this woman of God and supporting this show. We are in our final season. And so this is just a blessing to be able to have my former pastor here to celebrate with us on this final season. But I do have some more questions, so I'm going to keep
Yes,
digging.
ma'am.
All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
So, seasons of barrenness can feel like silence from heaven. What would you say to the woman or man who feels like they've been faithful, but nothing seems to be growing?
Yes, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Well, Hannah,
Mm,
I do talk about her in this book, and she was faithful. She went to worship with her husband Elkanah every year.
mm,
They made offerings to God. They pledged and paid their first fruit,
yeah.
their sacrificial, gifts to God. And it just looked like what she wanted the most,
Mm,
she didn't get it. And then he marries um Penina,
ooh,
who was an agitator. So when so when even in barrenness, you will have agitators that
yeah.
show up to
Yeah.
completely try to destroy you and discourage you.
Ooh,
So here it is. They're at,
mm,
of course, Shiloh at this time, again offering up to God their offering. And she's sad. Her countenance, I can only
mm.
imagine her asking God over and over for just a child.
Yes.
And this second woman, that side chick, or
Mhm.
if they want to call him side chick. Okay. But anyway, she is having baby after baby after baby.
Yes.
And then she rubs it in her face.
Mm,
She's so distraught.
yeah.
This is her barren season. She's so distraught.
Mm,
Her husband is trying to encourage her. During those times, it's like this. You want someone to encourage you,
yeah.
but sometimes it just doesn't work.
That's right.
She needed, she needed to hear from God. And
Yes.
what she did, she got up from dinner. We know the story. She went
Mhm.
into the sanctuary, into the
Mhm.
temple,
Ooh.
and began to just wail before God. Sometimes barrenness is that way.
Ooh.
It's just like that. You have to just stay before God.
Ooh, God.
You don't see anything, you don't feel anything. You don't even, sometimes you don't even believe that it's going to come to pass. But
Mm.
the priest, Eli, sees her
Ooh, God.
and he says, "Have you been drinking?"
Yeah.
He thought she was drunk. And she didn't get upset, even though she was full of pain. And I say this about people. Sometimes hurt people hurt other people. But
Yes.
we have to examine ourselves that even when we're going through our trials, tests, and tribulations, we don't get the privilege of hurting people,
Mm.
of displacing our frustration on people,
Yes.
because we're made for more, and
Mm.
God has his hand yet on her. Well, when she said, "No, my Lord," he said, "Your prayers have been answered.
Yes.
Get up." And I just believe that very night that she
Yes.
went back to her husband's bed, that it
She
happened.
conceived. Oh,
Yes,
yes.
I just believe that, okay?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Uh, she gave birth to a boy by the name of Samuel.
Mm.
God had something special for her, even though her seasons of barrenness seemed as though that was the end. He became king,
Ooh.
one of the better kings that Israel had ever had, you
Mhm.
know?
Yes.
So, and she
Ooh.
was able to offer him back to God. So even in our barren seasons, we should still be a person that give back to God.
Yes.
I've seen people who so mad at God, they stop giving, they
Mm.
stop serving, they stop believing, they stop
Mm,
trusting, and they become filled. I think if you don't understand your barrenness, you will
yeah.
become filled with bitterness.
Yes. Ooh, that's so good.
She did not allow her barrenness to fill her with bitterness.
I'm writing that down because that's so
Okay.
good. Somebody type that so we could put that on the screen because that right there was so good. Ooh, my God. Yes, don't give up in your season. Give back to God. Absolutely.
Yes.
Like that's when you're supposed to be on your face before God. You're supposed to still be serving. You're supposed to still be out there being the light in the world, doing what He has called
Absolutely.
you to do. Like so many times it's hard, but some are called to be the rooting agent, the foundation, a starter. Ooh, yeah, I
Yes.
love that.
Yes.
Rooting agent, the
Yes.
foundation, the starter kit.
Yes.
That is so good. And when I think about what you said about the whole place of barrenness and bitterness, and actually I was a part of I'm in this community and we were talking last night and one of the ladies was sharing some of the struggles that she's going through and she's in this season of barrenness as well. And this is the time where we as other women have rallied around her to let her know like you got to be in God's face. You got to be in his face, right? And not be in that place of being bitter. We didn't use that particular term, but we were talking about it and using phrases that would be similar to that, right? Just to help her get unstuck and get out of that place of being sad and being standing still. It's like, yeah, there's times to stand still, but there's times when you got to fall on your face and go before God in that
Absolutely.
and season and call out to him and cry out to him like Hannah did and look at the reward that she
Yes.
received, right?
Yes.
And
And
so
even though God gave her the son she wanted, the
mhm,
baby boy she wanted,
yeah,
she was so in love with God, she was willing to give it back to
back.
God,
Yes.
turn him back, take him back to this to the temple and allow him to grow up in the
Yeah.
house of God.
Oh God.
And then God blessed her, we know the story,
Yes.
with other children
Yes.
because she held on even in her barren times. And barrenness is not just, for a woman's womb.
Mm,
It could be that,
yeah.
but it also could be a profession,
Mhm.
a promotion,
Yes.
something that you truly have been working on, a business. It
Mhm.
may be barren now, but keep
Yes.
giving to God.
My God.
He will show up.
Yes, he will.
He
Ooh, come
will
on,
not.
see. You about to preach on here. I feel it coming. I feel a whole sermon coming. Oh my God, I love it. I love it. So we know you highlight, biblical characters throughout the book. You highlight biblical characters whose greatest challenges led to their greatest victories. You just talked about
Yes.
Hannah. So was there outside of Hannah, was there any other story that personally like wrecked you or stretched you while you were writing this book? And if so, which one?
I love Joseph.
Mm,
I love the story of Joseph
yeah.
because even though he was favored by his daddy, he was hated by his brothers.
Mm. Woo.
I mean, it's like our daddy favors us,
Yes, he does.
but the devil hates us.
Yes, he
And
does.
we better know that as believers.
Yes.
Um, Joseph's story is that even though he might have been a smart mouth kid, we
Mhm.
all are, you know, um, he was only doing what his dad asked him to do when he
Mhm.
went to check on his brothers.
Yeah.
But God had given him not just one dream. And he told, see what happens when you tell people your dream.
Yep.
You got to be sure it's the right people you are telling your dream to.
Yes.
He shared it with blood, and you would think sharing it with blood would be okay,
Ooh.
and it was not. They became so enraged with jealousy and hate. The scripture says they hated him even the more. How could you hate your own blood even the more?
Ooh.
That's what they did. And when they put him in that pit, in that dry cistern,
Ooh.
no water, no light, who knows what could have been crawling around in there,
Yes.
but they stripped him of his coat. And
Mm.
see, life has a way of doing that to us. Circumstances have a way of stripping us. Problems have a way of stripping us
Oh gosh.
and leaving us in a pit, in a dark place. Every one of us probably have experienced some bouts of depression.
Hmm.
That's a dark place.
Yes.
But that's not a place that God wants us. That's a place that the enemy try to keep us.
Yes.
And then to cause him to cry out, from the pit, help.
Mm.
I mean, he may have said, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but they refused to hear him. And the text will tell you they were sitting less than 10 feet away from him, eating dinner, and could
Yes.
hear their brother crying out for help. We live in a world today,
Mm.
which is unfortunate, that we have brothers and sisters that are
Mhm.
crying out
Yeah.
and they're being placed in pits. I'm trying
Mhm.
to make this very relevant to where we are in our society now.
Yes.
We have to address some of those things.
Mm.
But with Joseph in his story, he didn't understand what God was doing at that time,
Yeah.
because I think his youth would not allow him to understand that God had to strip him, not of the coat, but perhaps of the pride that he would have had. Because
Yes.
he know what the dream said, I'm going to be king, I'm going to be this.
Yep.
And he told his daddy and his mama, they had a problem with it.
Yeah.
So when
Mm.
they got sold down into Egypt, isn't
Mm.
it amazing everything seemed to go back to Egypt?
Yes.
I know we're finishing up Black History Month, but everything just seemed to go back to Egypt.
Yeah.
I wish 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue would just get that. Everything just goes back to
To
Egypt,
Egypt.
okay? But he didn't understand why he had to be lied on. How
Mm.
many of us
Oof.
can I say you can say anything you want about me,
Yeah.
but the one thing that tears me to pieces, lie on me, and I mean you could hit me. That
Yeah.
won't hurt as much as a lie.
Yes.
He was lied
Yeah.
on, then thrown back into prison,
Yes.
and then he was forgotten by the butler and the baker. He remembered, the butler remembered after he got out and was serving back to the king. Oh,
Mm.
there is someone. How many times have we been forgotten, dropped?
Forgotten.
Yes.
Oof.
All that we did and what he did for them, he told them revelations, gave them truths,
Yeah.
and every single one of them came true. We help people. Oh my God, if I tell you all the people I've helped, Jesus, we'd be here for another, how many?
We'll be here for
But
another 9 seasons.
yes, but he still didn't give up. His luggage didn't weigh him down, and he had a lot of luggage.
Oh, that's
He kept
good.
moving forward.
Ooh.
He had to unpack it. And when he met his brothers again, they did not know who he was.
Mm.
Sometimes God will transform you,
Yes.
change you, elevate you, that people won't recognize you.
Ooh.
But he
Mm.
had to forgive them of everything they've done.
Yeah.
That he did. And that's why I say that story is so powerful. I know
Mhm.
things that people have done. I mean, really, I mean, it's almost embarrassing to tell that you've had people so close to you and they would steal from you
Oh,
and
yeah.
take from you
Mm.
and then try to lie on you
My
and
God.
make it seem like you're the problem. But even in all of that, God had me to have a forgiving heart.
Yeah.
I can't
Amen.
explain that. I can't explain that. All I know is he did it.
Amen.
And Joseph then was raised up, of course, to be second in command. And when the famine came,
Yeah.
who did he feed? The
His family.
very same, the very same people who threw him in a
Ooh,
pit and
yes.
sold him down to Egypt, the very same people.
Mm,
Yes. So I love that story of
yeah.
transformation, you know.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. He's one of my favorites as well. It's definitely a story of, for me, not just transformation, but that place of elevation as well.
Yes,
As
yes,
you saw him just get elevated, right? He had to go all the way down to come all the
yes,
way up.
yes,
And it's so true. We have to be very careful about who we share things with, who we tell our secrets and our dreams to, because you got those dream snatchers out
yes,
there who do not want to see you go to the next level. But God will always put you in position when He has ordained you, when He has anointed you, and He has appointed you. He will put you in
absolutely.
position to be elevated. And so His story is a constant reminder of that for me.
Yes,
So
yes,
thank you for sharing that.
yeah,
Now, his story, of course, is an example of someone who truly had to go through a process, right? And we know that a lot of believers, and I'm guilty of it. I'm sure you've been guilty of it at some point. All of us has probably been guilty as believers. We love the promise. Well, God
yes,
promised
of
me,
course, of
but
course.
we struggle with the process.
Yes,
So, what
yes,
is it about the process of becoming that we resist so much? Why do we constantly resist?
because we believe that God is a God that He just works everything out. There's no rough places,
Yeah.
there are no tough places,
Mm,
because He's the supreme being, which He is. He's the sovereign God, which He is. He's this loving God, which He
yeah.
is. But isn't it amazing? God can comfort us and care for us and caress us
Yes.
and then correct us all in His hand at
Yes.
one time.
Oh God.
Because there's some rough edges and some things He got to smooth out. So
Mhm.
during that process, that time of processing, you know, when we put um, things in a processor,
Mm,
there's a certain way we want it to come out.
yes.
We don't
Woo.
want no lumps. We want everything smooth. And so sometimes you gotta maybe add a little liquid to it and turn the processor back on again.
Mm,
That's easy because
yes.
we can see, but when we're in the place of being smoothed out and some things taken out, we think God is unfair.
Mm,
He's unfair to allow this and that. But there's a group called Florida Mass Choir. They say put it all in His hand,
yes.
and then put this and that, put it all in His hand.
Yes.
Let Him handle it. So
Mm,
no matter how great or how small, God can handle the situation. And I think we forget that. We forget during the process, He's handling it. Through the
mhm.
process, we're supposed to be learning the lessons. Rather than saying, why me? We should be saying, why not me?
Why not me?
Yes.
Yes. I just
So,
had that
yeah.
conversation with someone. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Me. Like, we need to be asking God that. Why not me? Because if God considers you worthy, you should be honored.
Yes.
God considers
Yes.
you worthy, right? To be in the test, to be in the trial. So instead of always, oh God, why me? Why do I have to go through this? Why not me?
Yes.
Choose me.
Yes.
Consider me for this, because that means I'm worthy and that I'm going to overcome and I'm going to pass this test. So, ooh, thank you for
Yes.
saying that. Thank you for sharing that. I love that. Ooh, okay. So, if someone listening tonight feels stuck, whether it's emotionally, spiritually, professionally, what is one practical step that they can take this week to start walking toward their more?
Mm. Well, I quote this, I say this, I tell people that the more awaits for you. It's waiting on you.
Mhm.
And one practical step that they can take is to write down what it is that they understand about where they are, and then write down what it is that they don't understand with
Mm.
where they are. It's kind of like I was going to medical school, so I did anatomy and physiology. So um, you need to dissect it
Mhm.
because purpose, when it shows up, um, it's clear.
Mhm.
It's then up to us
Yeah.
to accept it. Sometimes we have our mind on something else, and God is saying, no, this is it.
Yeah.
It might seem impossible, but it's always, the more is always supposed to be impossible. But we were made
Yeah.
for more. Yes. It's like David walking through the valley of the shadow of death.
My
It's
God.
not death, it's just a shadow.
Mm.
So the more is always on the other side because the entering of the valley, there's an entrance, but there's also an exit.
My God.
So I think in that transition piece there, yes, there's more joy, more hope, more peace, more love,
Yeah.
more ability, more health.
Mhm.
Whatever your more is that God
Mm.
has given you, have shown you,
Yeah.
it's time to go for it. Take the journey.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I would
Look,
say
I
those
told y'all
two
she was
things.
gonna preach. I told y'all. I told y'all she was gonna preach on here tonight.
I'm just trying to inspire. That's all.
Look, I'm over here just taking notes. I'm like, I feel like I'm back at church. I'm like, hold on, let me take my notes. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm on the show.
Oh my.
Okay. So writing a book like this requires conviction. Do you have to live this message, or did you have to live this message out before you could actually teach it?
I preached so many of these sermons. And then just one day when I had been working on a book for a while.
Mhm.
I'd go off, take a couple of days and go try to write. I got notes. If I showed you all um, I have one here. I'll, I'll plug. Maybe they can see it. I don't know. I don't know if they can see this or not, but yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can see the black notebook.
This one. Yeah. This is just one, but through it, I don't know if they can see that. Maybe not. Yeah, some of the page.
Oh
Just
yeah,
through it. I got notes, but I got so many of these that have
yeah.
so many notes. So then trying to bring it all together, remember, you know, and then the title, the name just one day pierced me
Mm.
like nothing
Mm.
because I had no idea like what I was going to entitle the book. I mean, I already have something in mind about the next book.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to settle into this one first before I start on that one. But the more you are made for, it
Mm.
won't be revealed in comfort. Let me just say that.
Yes. Mm.
The challenge and the pressure that you are experiencing will give you just a sign of what you're made for.
Mm.
It's like an earthquake. Even though it shakes some stuff up,
Yeah.
to the point when things are falling and people think, oh, that's it.
Mm.
Life is like that sometimes. Just know that is a sign.
Mm.
It's kind of like when Jesus had had been raised from the dead,
Mm.
there was an earthquake.
Mhm.
So it showed that there was a sign that he was on the other side of victory. Our
Mm.
earthquakes, those things that we have that come in our lives that shake us to our core, is just an earthquake to say you're moving to the other side of victory. So don't be upset. I have to be honest tonight, if I can say this, is that yes, there were times in my immaturity, I'm like, why me?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand.
Ooh,
And I kept reading a scripture that that he says, ask and it shall be given unto you.
yeah.
And I'm saying, Lord, I'm asking. Yeah, but my will had not been lost in his will.
Oh, wow.
I wanted my will
Yeah.
and his will to be lost in my will, not my
Mm.
will lost in his will.
Ooh, Jesus.
So we have to surrender in that respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so when you think about the conviction that it took to write this book, where do you feel like this book cost you something?
Okay. So from every pit that I was in to every barren place that I was in
Mhm.
to standing and having to stand where the furnace and the fire was, you know, the three Hebrew boys, they stood
Yes.
in that furnace.
Ooh,
Actually, they danced in that furnace.
okay.
Sometimes you just have to dance in your furnace,
Yeah.
and people won't understand it.
Hmm.
They won't grasp it.
Yeah.
You only get it. You only get it when you yourself have to go through it.
Mhm.
That's when you get revelation.
Yes.
And so I'll say this, that God is not concerned about the destination I was getting to in
Mm.
completing the book. He was more concerned about my development.
Ooh, amen.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
So the pivotal point is being developed in character and conversation and
Mm.
conduct.
Yeah.
So the journey continues,
Ooh,
but the development is what he's concerned about.
Ooh, I look. All y'all who are watching live, I know y'all are getting some amazing nuggets out of this. I hope y'all are taking notes. I've been taking notes throughout the show,
You say,
and I hope y'all are taking notes too because this has just been a word. Yes, this is Danielle says this is good. This is some good
oh,
stuff right here.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I want y'all to grab Dr. Hauser's book, You Are Made for More, because if what she shared here is only a glimpse of what is in that book, you all are going to be in for an amazing treat. Okay. So we've been running the link across the screen. It's going to be in the comments as well. So you can click on it and get the book. I have two more fun questions I want to ask
Okay.
before we
All
close out.
right.
And if anyone has any questions, you are welcome to put them in the comments. We will put them up on the screen. So I'll give y'all time to think about your questions while I ask these last two questions. So if You Are Made for More had a theme song, what would it be and why?
Wow. I think, okay, so the song, I think it's by I think it's Beyonce, I think. Freedom.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So that would be the theme song.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us why.
Because once you understand who you are, you will truly be free.
Ooh.
No hinges can hold you. Once you know you are free and you live in freedom,
Yeah.
you will walk in freedom and you will talk in freedom. Bound people, and that's what the enemy wants. He wants us bound and closed mouth. And that's why I
Mhm.
said I believe words are so powerful. You can build up or tear down,
Yes.
you know, your own life or someone else's life
Mm.
by the words in which you speak.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Can I read a clip real quick of what someone wrote about the book in a review?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Um, someone said that this book is so powerful. I wanted to pace myself, but
Mhm.
it's a page turner I could not stop.
Hmm.
You'll be eager to keep coming back. It's necessary. In-depth reminder using biblical stories, correlations, and perspectives of just how much more we are made for. Use this book as a guiding light, a reminder to simply keep going. I was instantly able to see so many things from childhood
Wow.
were already aligning me to fill my purpose. I the comments and the texting that people sent me, I
Yes.
was like, you know, in
Yeah.
awe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so deserved. So it's what when you all purchase this book, right? And I'm telling you, run on over to your phone and get on Amazon, get it in your cart, purchase it. But don't just purchase it, read it,
Oh, yes.
right? And
Yes.
don't just read it, share it with others. And don't just share it with others, post your review, okay?
Please.
Because
Yes.
reviews do matter. They matter. They matter. They matter. They matter to the authors. They matter to the algorithms, okay? And that's what helps to push the book. So not just the review, but also the rating. Okay, so rate the book and review the book because that
Yes,
pushes the book
please.
higher in the algorithms and it allows people who are searching for books like, searching for something about spiritual development and things of encouragement. This book will show up. You post your review and your rating. Okay. So support Dr. Hauser. Support this book. You are made for more because she is talking to each and every one of us that we
Yeah.
are made for more. And we need to know that.
And
You
then
want
just one snippet, as
yeah.
someone said, reading this book immediately made me reevaluate my life and question why I'm here. It compelled me to reflect deeply on my purpose. From the very beginning, each chapter guided me through self-reflection, discovery, sparking profound emotional responses. That's just a little bit of what they said. So it,
Wow.
yeah. And there's a 31-day journal that's in the book as well. So it's 13 chapters, but then it has a journal so that you can do self-reflection and develop what I said. Face what's, you think and what you not sure of, put it in front of you and work through it.
Mm, I love that. And anybody who knows me knows I love a book with reflection questions, journal lines. I love that because one, it's a keepsake, right? You're not gonna let somebody borrow your book that has all your personal stuff
Yes.
in it. So you got to encourage them to buy their own. So I love
Yes.
that. I love anything that's a devotional, right? Anything
Mhm.
that has a path to your development. And so I love that you framed it that way. I love that you were able to share the stories in the way that you did, and I just love the way that um, brought so much enlightenment to us on tonight's episode. I really value and appreciate you and the time that you spent with us. I love you deeply.
Love
It's
you.
just been such an honor, one, to have been under your tutelage and to still see you here today, just still growing the sheep, right? And still providing a space where people can latch on to the word of God and grow and develop in their spiritual walk. I am just honored that I was able to do that, during the time I spent with you. And it has propelled me even to where I am today in my spiritual walk. And so I thank you for that. I thank everyone who has been a part of tonight's episode, just encouraging. We've seen all the comments coming through, and I'm just grateful for you. We'll try to go back in later if we need to respond to any comments. We will do that. But I just want to do a quick little lightning round before we close out.
Okay.
So,
All right.
coffee or tea while writing?
Mhm.
Tea. All right. Early morning prayer time or late night revelation moments?
Both.
Say it again.
Both.
Both. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Final one. Which biblical character would you most want to interview on a podcast?
Ooh, let's see. Maybe Peter.
Okay. Why Peter?
Peter was straightforward.
Yeah.
he didn't cut he didn't cut corners with anybody, even a child, you know.
True. He just would cut off your ear, but he didn't cut
Yes,
corners.
right. But Jesus was always there to put it back on, you know. But I think Peter, because I mean, even though I love Paul, but I think Peter because he was just um he followed so close
Mm,
to Christ,
yeah.
and then yet so far.
Mm,
Yeah, you know, he during that time when Jesus was going back and forth, you know, to being marched from hall to hall to judgment hall, and Peter was right there, and then he gets he's so close, but then he's so far
yeah.
that he denied Christ 3 times. But yet, when Christ rose from the dead,
Mm,
he says, "Go tell my disciples and Peter
mm.
to come and meet me." So I think Peter,
Ooh,
you know,
that is so good.
he would cut you and
Yeah.
cut you, you know, curse you and cut you, you know. So Peter, you know,
Yeah. That's a good one. That is
yeah,
a good one. That gives me something to reflect on. I really enjoyed that answer. Thank you. This was fantastic. I just thank you so much, Pastor Hauser. This was fantastic. I am
you.
so elated for you. I know that this book is going to take you into places and spaces that you haven't traveled yet. I definitely know that God has done something incredible for you through this book that you don't even know about yet because it hasn't happened. But when it does, call me
Will. I will. I
and
have
let
your
me know.
number. I have you on speed dial.
That's right. 'Cause this is
Yes,
something that the world has to see. The world needs to know that we are all made for more. God's people, we are made for more. And I want us to believe that and know that without a shadow of a doubt. And when we can actually rise into the place of authority that God has called us into, can you imagine the shift that would take place in this world? If every believer recognized that we were made for more and that we rise up in our authority. And so that's what you're going to be traveling the world to teach people about, to teach them how to live in the more right now. Right now.
it awaits them.
It awaits them.
Yes. I just
Amen.
want to say to you, Stephanie, thank you, because you know you could have chose somebody else
Mhm.
to be here, but I just want to truly say thank you for having me on Story Time with Stephanie. Thank you.
Oh, you are more than welcome. You are more than welcome. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I love to end the show with a little quote or something that I thought was so powerful. And so let me look, because y'all know I was taking all these little notes, right? So let me see. Let me see. So again, let me just say really quick, make sure you purchase a copy of Dr. Hauser's book. It's on Amazon. The link is there running across the screen, but we will also post it in the comments. It will also be in the show notes for those who listen to the show on audio. You can go into the show notes and you can grab the link and get the book, You Are Made for More, by Reverend Dr. Patricia Hauser. And also, oh, Dr. Hauser, where can folks find you on social media? What are your handles?
I'm on Facebook as Patricia Hauser. I'm on Instagram as well. I'm on TikTok. I don't do a whole lot of TikTok, but
I
you
don't
know,
either.
yeah, okay. Yeah. So Facebook, Instagram, and then Dr. H, um, YouTube,
Okay.
Dr. H Ministries. YouTube channel that has a lot. I work out a lot, so it has a lot of my times in the gym when I'm doing the radio program here in Tampa, gospel music on Sunday mornings. So, and then a lot of inspirational things with the book is on Dr. H Ministries. So, yeah.
That's your all around. This is me
Yes.
YouTube channel, right? This is
Yes.
me, the full me. I
Right.
love that. I love
Right.
that.
Yes.
All right. So before we close out, I just want to share this one. The more awaits for you. It's waiting on you. And Dr. Hauser said you have to write down what you understand and what you don't understand about where you are. That's a practical step will help you and guide you in this path of getting to your more. So I want you all to stay focused on that. I want you to take away the tips that she shared on tonight's show. I want you all to grab hold of everything that she has talked about. And I want you to get this book. I promise you, it won't just inspire you, it will transform you. It will literally take you to the next level of authority where God has called you into. Thank you all for saying it's a great show. I appreciate you all. As I have shared, this is the final season, season 9. God is calling us into some new places and spaces. And so we have 2 episodes left. So join us 2 weeks from now. I believe that's March the 10th or something like that, I believe, where we'll have our 3rd episode. And then we'll have our season finale later on in the month of March. So thank you all for joining us tonight. I appreciate you. Good night and God bless. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Storytime with Stephanie. If you're an independent author and you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us at info@stephanieouten.com with your name, the name of your book, and why you believe you should be a part of our show. Also, if you'd like to support our show by sponsoring an ad, you too can email us at info@stephanieouten.com for more information. We'll see you next time.